My multimodal translation is coming in the form of an app. So this is kind of my idea of the icon for the app. And my intention is to reach a more general audience, but more specifically a younger, more impressionable audience. So I was thinking like middle school to high school age students. In my generation, obviously they would be included, is very like technology centered. So an app seemed like a good way to get what I've learned out to them because everybody has smartphones or iPads or just other various gadgets through which apps are readily accessible and used frequently. Um, so the part of my argument that I will be conveyed through the app is that we have control over happiness because there are things that we can do to improve upon it. So the app would um, kind of go through those ways you can improve your happiness. So, what I was thinking is that it would kind of start with a brief informational message when you open the app. So, kind of like Lumosity, when you go to it, it tells you, you know, what you're going to do, how it's going to work. It tells you, like, the science behind it, and you can click these things to take you and show you in greater detail. It shows you what we found, what they've done to convey the effectiveness of it. So um, I think I would include something like this so that the users can see, hey, this is why this works. It's supported by scientists. Um, yeah. So it would say something like scientists have found that you can increase your happiness and levels of overall well being through intentional activities. This app will guide you to and through some of these activities and will include weekly and monthly check ins to see how it's working for you. Get your friends and family involved too, spread the word. Something simple like that, just to help people understand what it's doing. So once you get through that, you would be introduced to a list of potential daily activity assignments. Or I guess you wouldn't be introduced to a list. You wouldn't be introduced to your daily activity assignment, but here is a list of the potential ones. So you could get something like express gratitude, and then it would tell you like your specific task. So send a short text, email, call to a parent, sibling, close friend, etc. Act of kindness, like fold laundry left in the dryer, help with dishes after dinner, help somebody that you see is struggling, something fairly simple. There could be an exercise one, so I was thinking like there could be levels. So easy would just be like a walk with a friend or your pet or something. Medium, you could go for a jog, and I don't know, hard, you could just go run for a little bit. Um, socialize, you would be assigned something like go out to dinner, go to a movie. And I understand that like younger people don't have jobs, they don't have an income, and even older people who would access the app might not have disposable income to do something like that. So they could also say like grab some friends and go for a walk or go for a drive or something. And then I would add a note saying like be mindful and present during these interactions. And that would probably be included somewhere else so that they know like the point of this, they'll be focusing on the point of their activities, and meditate, or it could just be some other like activity that's solely based on mindfulness. So something like hyper awareness. So like the raisin activity that I talked about in my paper, where you just let a raisin sit in your mouth and you just kind of feel it and taste it for 6 minutes. Or body scanning, breathing techniques, attend a religious service like yoga, sit quietly outside, something like that. And I put etc. because there are obviously other intentional activities that they could do that would be included in the app as well. So um, the app would prompt weekly and monthly check-ins, and so the user would have like they would just have a survey, like a self-report survey sort of, and then at the end of each week or month they could get the report back, and then after continuous use you could get full reports back where you could, or I'm expecting that they would see an increase in the level of happiness and well-being over time that could be attributed to the app. So that would show like the users its effectiveness, and then they would also be prompted after they get their reports to share their experience via social media or email or message or something like that, because that's honestly how I find out a ton of things, through like sharing on Facebook, or somebody will share something with me and send it to me as a text message and I'll get it. So that's another way that the app could reach a really broad audience, and especially in the younger generation, social media is a huge thing. So they could share it to their little Facebook friends, or post it on their Twitters, or share it in a group message to their teammates or something like that. So basically everybody or everything combines to get the research that I've found, and this particular part of my argument about improving your happiness out to a more general audience, but specifically a younger, more impressionable audience who can create these things, like can turn them into lifelong habits.